Assalamu alaikum dear students. Hello. In today's video I'm going to discuss the topic 4 from chapter 5. This video is basically for those who missed today's class or who want to revise today's topic that I taught you in the previous class. Okay. So here we are going to discuss about the role of mass media in the process of socialization. First of all, you need to know what mass media is. Mass media are some means to present different kind of opinions and programs to the mass people. That is why the word mass has been used here, to a huge number of people. For example, newspaper, radio, television, cinema. If you look at those things, you can easily notice that different kind of news, different kind of opinion, different kind of programs can be reached to all the people or a huge number of people through this media. That is why they are known as the mass media. So let me explain one by one. Very briefly I will explain all the topics. First of all, we need to know about newspaper. Now newspaper, I think, is the cheapest way to get any kind of news, especially in the developing countries. This is very famous because personally in our country I saw newspaper being sold at only 2 taka. Yes, there are newspaper that you can buy at 2 taka only or 3 taka only. Okay, so newspaper is very frequently, it's a thing that you can frequently get. That is why the common people can get to know about different information, different news from the country, inside the country and outside the country, from the newspaper. As a result, what happens? Their patience is being increased because you have to read the newspaper with patience. At the same time, you are learning different kind of information and you have to react to that very patiently. You are learning different kind of things. At the same time, what's happening? Your fellow feeling is increasing. How that is happening? Say whenever you are reading any news of the war or the people who are being tortured or their rights are being violated in the newspaper, you will automatically have a feeling for them. So thus fellow feeling increases by reading the newspaper. Though we do not know them personally who are being tortured or any kind of news, we get touched. At the same time, whenever we see someone is being happy, someone's achievement, we read this in newspaper, we feel very happy for them. So thus, it's a universal thinking. We become connected to the people, the countries, by just reading different kind of things, and thus your socialization is being enhanced and improved and you are learning different things through newspaper. So that newspaper plays important role in socialization. Now we're going to discuss about radio. Though in today's world, your generation, you are not that much connected to radio, but there are so many mass people who are still connected to radio. For example, if you think of a farmer, or say if you are thinking of a fisherman, they can carry a small radio with them whenever they're working. And in coastal area, the people usually carry a radio because they have to know two different kind of signals, or any kind of disaster can anytime attack the coastal people. So whenever they are moving, they can carry a small radio with them to get the information or weather forecast, right? So by not only that, in radio there are different kind of news, there are different kind of entertainment program. These are broadcasted. So whenever people are listening to the radio, mass people are listening to the radio, their consciousness is being increased. At the same time, their cultural insight has been increased because they are getting information, they are getting news, they are getting different kind of information from the radio. So this is another means through which you can learn different things, and that is helping in your socialization. Now we're moving to the strongest and probably the most popular media all over the world, not only in the developed country or the developing country or the underdeveloped country. Everywhere it's very popular, and that is television, right? So television can manipulate human thinking. Trust me, by showing a program, it can change your thinking. And that is why the government or the state, whenever it wants to dispatch any messages to the people, it uses television. Because so many people watch television, and any information, any message can be spread through the programs of television. But here you have to remember that television can affect the process of socialization both in positive way and in negative way. For example, if you see or if you watch an educative program, a good program, a program that is consistent with our culture, definitely that will help you in building your knowledge, in learning different kind of things, and you will get to know about your own country and outside country. So that is a good thing. Even the children, the adolescent, they can learn so many things from the good program. But at the same time, if the program is not a good program, if it's a vulgar program, if it's indecent program, or if it does not go with our culture, definitely that can have negative impact. For example, there are many crime program in the television, and there are so many child or so many children and so many adolescents who watch the program and they try to copy those crime. Definitely that is not a good thing. Or anything that is, for example, like in many foreign program, drinking is shown, so that does not go with our own culture. I'm not disrespecting their culture, but it does not go with our own culture. Now, by seeing that program, if someone feels urged to drink or do any kind of crime, definitely that is not a good thing, right? At the same time, if someone gets addicted to television, that can hamper his study or her study, the personal life or regular life. So it varies from people to people which side you are going to take. Okay, so if any question comes from television in your exam, you have to explain from both perspective, the positive and the negative one. Now we are going to explain about the cinema. Cinema can send any message to a huge number of people all over the world. That is why cinema has important influence on the people, on their socialization. It's very easier to send any message or any clue to the people through cinema. If the cinema is pleasant, if the cinema is decent, if the cinema is education, it can help in your socialization. There are so many good cinemas. In today's class, I was asking the students to make a list of the cinemas that they watched or recently, and they were sending me the messages. So many good cinemas, so many educative cinemas. I know so many people, whenever I asked them how did you improve your morality, they said I learned it from any superhero from a cinema. So that means whenever it's educative, you are learning good things from cinema. That is helping in a positive way in your socialization. But if the cinema is vulgar, if the cinema is indecent, again I'm saying, if it doesn't go with your culture, your morality, definitely that can destroy your morality, right? So that is why indecent cinema can have adverse impact on your socialization. So we have to be very careful about that. And whenever this kind of question comes in your exam, definitely it depends on the question, but if it's in general that write the role of newspaper or write the role of cinema in your socialization, you have to explain it from positive and negative both perspective. So that's all for today's topic. I hope the topic is clear to you, but if you still have any question, you can ask me in the next class. One more thing, as I always say, read the textbook. There is no alternative of reading the textbook. Underline the important sentences. See you in the next class. Till then, everyone, stay well, take care and stay safe. Allah Hafiz.